Andrés Caicedo. Andrés, who loves literature, sees that Professor Lopera is reading a book. They start a conversation about her favorite writer, Andrés Caicedo.
Good morning, teacher. Can I ask you what you're reading?
Of course. Angelitos Empantanados by Andrés Caicedo. Have you ever read it?
Yes, I read it last year and I loved it. I found it very interesting. It was wonderful how he depicted the lives of young people in Cali.
Yes, he's my favorite writer. This is the third time I read this book. I came across this book in the library and decided to go over it again. In my opinion, Andrés Caicedo is one of the most original writers in Colombia. However, not many people know of him in other countries, in spite of his popularity here.
Really? Did he write many other books?
Yes, he wrote plenty of stories, plays, and essays. He also wrote 3 novels, and some of his letters have even been published.
Wow! Once I saw a movie based on one of his novels, Que Viva la Música. The story of this teenage girl who, one day, suddenly decides that a regular life wasn't for her. Instead, she decides to drop out of school, become a partygoer, get high, and dance.
Did you know it was the last book he wrote? I read that the day he committed suicide, he had just received the first copy of this book.
It's a pity he died so young.
Once he said that living more than 25 years was a shame. Maybe it was the main reason for his suicide when he was at that age. I'm sure that if he hadn't committed suicide, he would have won the Nobel Prize one day.
Sure, he was a very skilled writer. I've heard he began writing when he was very young. Is that true?
Yes, actually, he started writing when he was only 10. He was still in his teens when he was awarded a Latin American contest for his short story, Los Dientes de Caperucita.
Oh yes, I've heard that he wrote 7 versions of that same story.
Yes, he did. But his real obsession was always the cinema. He loved it. In fact, he wrote several movie scripts as well.
He was such an interesting man. In fact, I think I'll go to the library and find one of his books.
Oh, let me join you. My daughter asked me to find a book she has to read for art class. Something about the great painters of Colombia, you know, Fernando Botero, Alejandro Obregón, and others.
Cool! I love the works by Obregón.
So do I. He's a great artist.